sense that storm coming. It's all downhill from here. Can you sense that storm coming? It's all downhill from here.
Come on, play, motherfucker, play. Play! Work!
What up?
What up? I swear, man, my buttons just ain't nothing on this computer going right. I've had to shut it down and restart it probably in the past 2 days, probably 8 times. So if something messes up tonight, I'll just start it back up if it ain't too late. I mean, if it's a couple, like if we're an hour and a half in and it messes up or something, then I won't start a new one. Because tonight is the night over at Hutch. I'm so used to saying Hutch Homestead or Deep Woods Studios, but over at Hutch, we're gonna be jamming out. What you got going on, brother?
The very last apocalyptic radio that I'm gonna do, and then that's over with.
Oh shit! What's up, y'all? I salute y'all. I salute y'all. You know what I'm saying? Hey, I've been working on some shit. I want y'all to hear some shit. Y'all might not be in the mood for a beat, but I think I got a banger, man. I think I got a banger. Y'all tell me. Y'all might make, be like, oh, you got to tweak that, or you might be like, oh, Tribe, that's a hitter right there. It's kind of a dangerous feel, brother. I think you'll like this, man. I'm gonna hit it for y'all real quick. Hopefully y'all can hear it. Man, sound like you getting ready to go in and kill everybody.
Right.
I love the way that Joker comes in, man. It comes in kind of subtle, and then all of a sudden, you know what I mean?
I need some fucking speakers, man. I ain't had no speakers that actually hit in fucking years. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah. You need earphones to hear this kind of shit. All right, one more real quick. I'm gonna hit y'all with one more. I just want y'all to hear the shit I've been working on real quick. This is another one I've been working on. I think it's halfway decent. It might still need to do a little bit of tweaking to it, but I'm gonna let y'all hear it real quick.
I like that distorted bass.
Yeah, that I don't know what it is. Is it violin or something? I don't know what the hell it is, but it kind of reminds you of Boys in the Hood. Is it Boys in the Hood? What's the one with Ice Cube and shit? What's that movie with Ice Cube where Ricky gets shot? Boys in the Hood.
Yeah.
You know when it's like real sad times in the movie or whatever, man. They got that you know what I mean? It kind of reminds me of it a little bit, but
They both sounded like drive-by music to me.
Right, right.
That's all that matters at the end of the day.
Hey, that's it, man. That's it. So what's been going on, y'all? What's up with y'all, man? What's going on in the chat? What's up with y'all? Shit, we ain't got nothing like important to tell nobody or nothing, man. We just come to hang, say what's up, see what y'all up to. Know what I mean?
Oh, I will say, if my bad, if anybody comes over to hang out for the music at 10:03 in the only time zone that matters, it's not that much country. Bear through it. It's like there's a little bit of everything. Like for real, it's
something for everybody.
It's a radio station, man.
So what ended up happening? If you wanna, you care if I ask, man? I don't know if you wanna. I know they kind of.
Who the fuck is it? Marshall Tucker Band. Can't you see? That one fucking song had me blocked everywhere. So I had to delete it from YouTube and come back to the Filmora, take that song out, line everything back up, and then fucking upload it again. And this time it's good, except I have one song from Alabama that is banned in Russia. Other than that, I'm good to go.
Damn.
Yeah. I was like, what the fuck? All right.
I wonder what's up with them songs to make them so bannable. You know what I mean?
You probably figure it was something like that. You'd figure it might be politics, like they spoke out or some shit. You know what I mean? Like, a fuck you. We don't want nothing to do with you. One of those kind of things.
Yeah, no doubt. Shit, I've only used Real Music a couple times, and I just it didn't block me from playing it. It just made it to where I couldn't monetize it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. That's what a lot of it. Yeah, you'll just get the copyright claims, and the artist will get the money that you would have made on that video.
Yeah, did you hear about what YouTube's doing though? They're I watched a couple videos on it, man. They're trying that. They're connected to some music companies anyway. So what they're trying to do is come up with a better way for us to use real music. And let's say you use a Conway Twitty song. I don't know why the fuck I'm saying him, but let's say we use Conway Twitty. If it's going to be monetized, you end up splitting 50-50 the money that you would get. So if YouTube takes, 45%, there's 55% left. You and the music artist that you do whatever, y'all would split the money that's made 50-50.
Just like like an actual radio station. If you get 10 cents kind of thing.
Yeah. And then that
would make it a lot fucking cooler though, really.
Yeah, something else too is I think they're gonna have they're actually got some radio companies or record companies or whatever. There's a couple of them that's really looped in with them. What they were saying is that artists are complaining because if you use an artist song in your video and 1,000 people see it, you're advertising for that artist. You know what I'm saying?
That's what I was thinking earlier today. I was out in public and I was like, it just makes more sense for these motherfuckers. Because I was like, I want to do Metallica. Like, there's a few artists already that I've been blocked that I just can't play in, period. So, I mean, I know. But I'm like, that's free publicity. How many of these fucking people have never, it surprised the shit out of me how many people didn't know that Rob Zombie was a musician. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
Like that. Like, what the fuck? Yeah.
Yep. And you figure, like, all the older songs that have died, not died, but there's a lot. When I listen, like when I'm playing poker or messing around, building thumbnails and shit, I'll listen to music from YouTube. And I listen to 80s music, 70s music. You know what I mean? And you figure all these songs that are just laying there and hardly anybody's listening to them, you could revive them by putting them in videos and shit. People are like, oh, yeah, I remember that song. I need to put that on my list. Right. Boom, bam, bit, boom, bam, bit.
Kind of like what Thor did with Zeppelin and shit. Like a whole new generation of kids who would never listen to that kind of shit in their life have been reintroduced through Zeppelin just by a fucking movie.
Yeah. Yep.
You let some of these influencers who got, millions of fucking followers. Just yeah, man, that's free.
Yeah,
Long.
let Mr. Beast put in a fucking Beatles song and watch that bitch go viral.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I mean, that dude gets 100, 200 million views. Please, Mr. Beast, use one of my damn beats. You know what I'm saying? Shit.
Right.
But you know, it's whatever, man. I guess it'll get better. I don't know, man. They said they're working on it. And did you hear about the other thing? Hey, y'all, if you're under 500 subs, check your community because you might got a community. They're letting everybody have a community post now.
Ain't that a bitch?
Niecy got hers.
Motherfuckers.
Now it might be. I missed when they first started talking about it, but I caught it like a minute in, and they were, you know, I started paying attention, and it sounded like everybody's gonna get it, but it might be like if you got 100 subs or more. I don't know. I didn't catch exactly, but it's. I mean, Niecy's only got like 200 subs, and she's got a community post, which they said that it's conflicting. Because they're saying that a lot of the creators are like, oh, this is going to flood the market with people that don't even have this and that and this and that. But think about this. How many people watch us and would have loved to shared one of our videos or one of our lives, but they couldn't because they don't do content. And you know what I mean? They don't have no subs. So now anybody can support anybody with that community. You can share. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it'll give a reason for people to follow people, even if they don't even have content. You might have one channel that just does awesome ass, you know, whatever it is, posting shit every day. I forget what that. I mean, it's not already slipped my damn mind. Huh?
Memes and shit.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Or even little sayings or shit, something they come up on their own.
Memes?
Yeah. Yep. So who knows? I ran into a channel the other day and it was just shorts. That's all they had on their channel, and they had I think it was 167,000 subs. And the only thing this girl did was shorts. And
what's the pay rate on short though? Can you get paid off of a short?
They're getting ready to do a whole separate pay thing for shorts, where if you, in order to join the partner program for shorts, you got to get 10 million views in 90 days.
Jesus
seems kind of, yeah, that seems kind of tough to me, man.
Right. That's a pretty big number.
Right? 10 million in 90 days. And this is the bad thing. When they put it into effect, when they put the shit into effect, nothing you've already done counts. So all these channels that have gotten 10 million views, or somebody that's gotten lucky and went viral with one short and got, you know, a bunch of views, none of that'll count. It'll count from the day they started till 90 days. Yeah, it's rough, man.
I mean, at least they're trying something new. You know what I mean? I'll give them that.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't know, man. Should YouTube really be a shorts place to go? I mean, I know they gotta
take over TikTok or Vine or whatever the fuck's still out there. You know what I mean? They're trying to compete with that market.
Yeah. Honestly, before I really got into doing YouTube was a place that I just went to look up something that I wanted to find out about. You know, if I wanted to learn about fixing something on my car, I would YouTube it. If I wanted to find out information on something, you know, some kind of fucking gadget that I wanted to buy.
Right.
Boom, bam, bip. I'd look it up on YouTube and watch a couple videos on it to see how good it was before I spent the money. Other than that, man, I never used YouTube to get news, or you know what I mean? Like,
native motherfucking voice, what's up?
Prepper started doing that shit, man.
Right.
Prepper started dropping all that intel shit.
That's what I say. I got into it just to learn a little fucking, because y'all know my brain works a little different. So I'm just looking up random ass tinkering shit for the homestead. You know what I mean? And then I kind of stumbled into this along the way.
Yeah. I don't know, man. Guess it is what it is.
Ain't nobody got the attention span for actually learning shit anymore. It's lives and shorts. It seems like. I mean, I may be in a bubble, but that's what it seems like. You know.
I'll be dead honest with you, man. I watch more Instagram reels and YouTube shorts now than anything else.
All right.
I'm
Oh, I'll
fucking
get lost in
addicted.
them fucking shorts. I'll get lost in them shorts all fucking day long.
Yeah. Hours.
Right.
I'll sit here playing poker, man, and I'll just keep flicking through it.
You
And
ever,
I'll
you ever
even
make it to the, like, you know, you got a problem when you make it to the end of shorts. Like, you just pick one out of the line and you keep going, and it's boom. You're like, it's literally done. You went through everyone on that line.
I haven't done it yet. I haven't done it yet. But I've looked at them for hours, so I don't know. Maybe you were in a different spot watching them than I was. Because I mean, I've literally sat here playing poker. Because you know, poker, man. I can play a tournament and be in that motherfucker for like 10 hours.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I know I've sat here and watched shorts probably 4 or 5 hours straight playing poker.
It might roll over. Like, if you
Yeah.
just let it roll, it probably just rolls over.
You get a lot of repeats, and you just got to pass them up.
Yeah.
Same old shit. I mean, there ain't but so many out there. But a lot of people are just taking what they had on TikTok or Instagram, and they're just funneling it over to YouTube. Because I see a lot of shit on YouTube now that I had already seen on Instagram.
Right.
It's like, I see what you motherfuckers are doing.
Well, you figure if YouTube goes the way of Facebook, 5 more years, it's going to be nothing but old motherfuckers on here, and all the kids are going to go off to something else. You know what I mean? That's kind of, if you want to kill technology, let your parents or your grandparents or your in-laws start a YouTube account, and eventually all the kids will leave, and it'll be nothing but grown folks. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then they'll start something else.
YouTube's hung in there though, man. I gotta give it to them. They got a lock on the whole fucking thing, man. Like there's no other place that is as quick, as good a search. You know, like you can search shit in YouTube real easy. You can, you know, do a live stream real easy. It works with apps real easy. All this shit. Like you always hear problems when people talk about Rumble and all these other places. It's like,
Right. I tried Rumble. I can't. When they banned Crowder for like 2 weeks or whatever, I went over and watched it on Rumble. I don't like the way it's set up. It's confusing as fuck. You know what I mean? That's what most of the time I don't know exactly what the fuck I want to see. I like browsing to see what my options are, but you gotta, you know what I mean? You gotta know exactly what the fuck you're looking for over there.
Yeah. I learned something, man. You know, the OnlyFans thing. I was listening to Tim Pool or something, and one of the girls that works with him, she has an OnlyFans, but it's not like that.
Right.
And they were talking about this person that's on OnlyFans making buku money, and the only thing she does is like cooking shit. But when she does it, she titles it like I'm gonna put this long hard thing in me, but she'll be talking about a cucumber.
Right.
And then she'll make a salad or something. You know what I mean? And she always does it with a sexual title to whatever food she's gonna cook. And you know, it's little brilliant little ideas like that make these motherfuckers millions, man, millions.
Right.
Sitting there doing what we all do every day. We all got to eat. Everybody's got to eat. That's why these cooking shows fucking do what they do, man. I swear, man. 20 years ago, 25 years ago, when I had much more energy, Lord have mercy, I would have ran with this bullshit.
Right.
So what's up, y'all? What's up? What's up with y'all, man? Anybody want to hop up here, say what's up? Y'all scared? Y'all just want to sit in the chat, talk shit. I see how y'all act. Y'all don't want to ever hang out. Build the damn members.
Uppity as fuck.
Don't want to come hang out with nobody. See how it is. So what you got going on this week, man?
I got a shit ton of mowing to do still. Well, it's not that much. About a day's worth, day and a half maybe. I got to butcher up some quails here in a couple days.
I didn't hear that last part. My bad.
I got to butcher up some quails.
Oh yeah, you said you were gonna do some shit. Did you get the one?
What you mean?
You said you were gonna do one of them and try to cook it up.
Oh no, I ain't got around to it yet. I was gonna do it yesterday, but then I made a video. Well, I recorded some shit for a video. Like I cleaned up that entire garden area, scraped the ground all the way down to the bare dirt, put a real door on the chicken coop. You know, all the little tedious shit I just got buttoned up.
Shit, you want to hear some shit that might get us in trouble, man?
What you
got? I sent it to Native real quick because I sent him something in Instagram and he answered back and it reminded me to send him this, but I'm gonna show it real quick. Hopefully we don't get in trouble, man. I'll tell y'all this. I'm just gonna read it, man. Fuck it. We get in trouble. We get in trouble. This is playing with fire. It could spark a lab-generated pandemic. Experts slam Boston lab where scientists have created a new deadly CV strain with an 80% kill rate.
Oh, damn.
They said 8 out of 10 mice that they gave it to died. I'm gonna go big screen for a second. Oh shit! Oh shit! There it is. Shit! Let me get it straight. Ain't that some shit, y'all?
That's fucking crazy.
That's some bullshit, man. That's some bullshit.
Nisi said the article's from the Daily Mail.
Yeah.
That's their newspaper too.
That's legit, right?
Yeah.
Oh shit! I'm telling you, man. I ain't all there, man. All my buttons don't be working. I got to push them 3-4 times. But yeah, could you imagine, man? These motherfuckers let go of something that's 80% kill rate.
I'm not actually surprised by that at all, as much as I would like to be. You know what I mean? At this point, that's kind of par for the course.
Yeah. And they're doing it right in Boston, man. Man, I'm telling you, man. I don't know. These motherfuckers let something loose and can't talk about it too much. We don't want to get a strike. I don't know how the fuck. I mean, it's in the Daily Mail. Fuck it.
That don't mean shit to them, though.
Yeah. What are we doing even fucking with that shit? You know what I mean? What the fuck are we doing, man?
Well, they say you gotta. Everything that we study is because some other country is studying, so we got to figure out how to weaponize and de-weaponize it and all that other stupid shit.
Yeah. I don't think no countries are as advanced as us, maybe China, when it comes to studying shit. I mean, look, we're the ones supporting money in China to study on the shit and shit.
I think the Asian countries are more technologically advanced than we are because they stole all of our shit. Like they've been corporate espionage since forever. You know what I mean? They come over here, they get the blueprints and the patents and all this other shit. I mean, where do we get all of our technology from now anyway? You know what I mean? What electronics are actually made in America? You know, any of that shit. Everything electronic is coming from an Asian country somewhere.
I don't know, man. I don't know what to think about that. You know,
and they don't have the restrictions that we have on advancing shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's funny that we'll share doing that shit with them, but yet we're enemies. You know, it don't make no sense. Like how could you have Fauci and them Bamas connected to Wuhan and all that. You know what I mean? Like, how could that be when we're enemies, but we're funding money to them and shit? And China's got all this fucking money. Why the fuck we need to send a fucking dime over there to work on some damn bugs?
That shit makes no sense to me.
It doesn't, man. Ignorant as shit.
Do we have a TT1 sighting? People are looking for TT1.
Is there a TT1 in the house?
He was here earlier.
I don't know. He might be too big dog nowadays. He's running that big time show he's got over there at TT1.
He's like, I'm Saturday night people. You motherfuckers are on a weekday. Psh, I ain't got time for y'all.
Right. I couldn't get it in the weekend, man. I tried to get it in the weekend, but I got in that big ass tournament, man. That bitch lasted like 11 hours. I was like, fuck, man. There's no way I can go live.
Monday seems like a decent day, though. You know what I mean?
Monday? Yeah. Yeah. There's a lot of people live right now, though. I think New York Prepper went live. He's doing that Ukrainian stuff.
Fuck him.
A couple other people, too, man.
Fuck them, too.
Right. No doubt, man. No doubt. I do like getting the info, though. They fucking Kyiv up, man. They bombing the shit out that motherfucker. I think it was today they were dropping some heavy heat. But you know what, man? I talked to my uncle today, man. You know them older motherfuckers, they know what's up. You know, he's 75. And he was talking some shit too, man. He said that I was telling him about Pop B getting hit with that 50 cal. And he was like, you know, I seen a Vietnamese dude get cut in half from one of those. And I was like, really? He's like, yeah, man, that motherfucker hit him right dead in the middle of his stomach and cut him square dead in half. I was like, God damn. But he exit
hole on that motherfucker, though.
Huh?
The exit hole on that thing.
Lord. But I started asking him questions, man. He was telling me about the M14 and the M6. He said that the M14 is like one of the baddest motherfuckers. He said he'd take that over everything. He said AK-47 ain't shit. And I was like, really? He's like, yeah, that motherfucker will shoot. He said, I don't care if you bury it in sand, dump it in mud, then leave it in an ocean for 3 years and pull it out, that bitch will still shoot. But he said, but you ain't going to hit nothing because it just don't aim worth a fuck. He's like, that's that Russian shit. He's like, man, it's bullshit. That motherfucker will work forever, but it ain't worth a fuck. And I'm like, really? I was like, well, what gun did you like, man? You know, like you were in the shit 4 tours in Vietnam. You were over there in the shit. Right. He said a M14. And he said that the only reason they made the M16 is because the M14 was so heavy that the soldiers and shit were always complaining it's too much to carry. It's too fucking heavy. So they made the M16. And he said when they first made the M16, a little granule of salt would fuck it up. And he said that he thinks that they fixed it. You know, they ended up working through the problems and shit. But when they first put it into the soldiers' hands, one little piece of dirt would have that bitch jamming up and shit. He said it would be all fucked up. But he said the M14, straight metal, straight heavy ass, he said he'll take that bitch any day of the week.
Damn. And
I was like, dang, you know, it's little shit that, you know, experienced motherfuckers, man. And then he was talking about that you know that it's like a grenade popper or something. It looks like a big ass bullet. You pop it in, it's about that fucking long, and it's just
yeah.
He said he loved them motherfuckers. He said that you could get accurate, it would drop right where he said that at the end of it, it has a little pop-up thing where you move it up and down so you could like sight it in to wherever you're gonna do it.
Right.
He said that them things were like so fucking accurate. I was like, damn, man, to sit here and hear somebody talk about it. And I know a lot of the, you know, like POTB, you know, Bug Out Bushido, all them, man, they probably used all these things, so they know all about them. But, you know, he's back in the fucking 70s, man, 60s and 70s with these fucking things. But
No, we
he
went
was
to the. Oh, go ahead.
no, I got you.
So we went down to the infantry museum down when we were down there in Columbus, and like they had it set up by generation, seeing all those fucking the mortars and the different the pretty much every style of gun that has ever been used by an infantry soldier. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Since the fucking Civil War or the Revolution, whatever the fuck. You know what I mean?
right.
Like some of that shit looks sketchy as fuck. I'm like, goddamn, you just got to see some of this shit and then look at something new today. Advancements are fucking crazy.
Yeah, he would he man, I'm telling you, if you listen to my uncle, you wouldn't be scared of a motherfucker, man. Uh he said the least of our worries if we go to war is a fucking Russia. He you know what I mean, he didn't completely talk like, but he said, man, their equipment is bullshit. He's like, it's all junk. He's like, you ever had ammo from Russia? Well, if you ever get some, be careful because it ain't worth a fuck. And he was like, their equipment ain't worth a fuck. It's old. He said he said if Russia let off a fucking nuke, he thinks that America would annihilate all of Russia like that. Now this is an older dude. He believes in the country. He was a war veteran, 4 tours and shit. So I get where he's coming from, but I mean he was dead serious. He was like, man, we would fucking annihilate Russia. He's like, they can't even fucking get a heads up on fucking Ukraine. What the fuck you think they're gonna do with us? He's like, the weapons that we got that people just don't even know about. And we talked about that. Like, what are the weapons that they been working on that they don't even tell us about? He was even talking about that shit. And I was like, man. The only thing he said is if they let off a nuke and we went to annihilate them, the only thing we'd have to worry about is whatever they get off by the time we blow their shit to smithereens. You know what I mean? He's like, we'd have to pray that a couple of their big shits didn't get off. That way we didn't get fucked up in the process. But he said
I think the only thing that would slow us down is the fact that we got a fucking rules of engagement and then civilian casualties. Because whatever we blow up, we're gonna give them the money to fucking rebuild.
Yeah.
I think that's the problem. We need to, like, if you're going to war, like, sorry about your house. You know what I mean? It's like it is what it is. Like we're spraying everything. Like if you're still there, you're a combatant. You know what I mean? They need to put that out nationally or globally and just fucking go for it.
Right. Well, I tell you, fish sticks, my uncle actually said that exact thing. He said when he was in Vietnam, he said he wouldn't even pick up a fucking AK-47. He said the North Vietnamese, they would die or whatever, and there'd be some AKs laying around, and he said him or none of his fucking peoples would even think about picking it up, and we ain't want nothing to do with them motherfuckers. They were trash. So but this is one person's opinion. You know what I mean? I'm sure there's people out there that love that motherfucker. It is what it is, but
everybody got a preference.
Mm-hmm. But he said about the, he said about the hypersonic missiles that Russia got. He's like, man, fuck them. He's like, them motherfuckers ain't got nothing. They talk a lot of shit. He was talking about North Korea. He was talking about China. And he said, but he made some sense. He's like, man, I think it's about time we do the first hit. He's like, we always sit around and wait for them to do the first strike. Blah, blah. He's like, man, I'm fucking tired of it. I'm tired of hearing these motherfuckers talk shit. I'm tired of hearing Russia talking shit about us. He said he would take out North Korean dude himself if he ever got close enough to him. I'm like, go ahead, Unc.
Right.
But it's just like I think, man. I'm like, yeah, that's what we should do. We should shut these motherfuckers up. At least for the next 20 years, they wouldn't say shit if we just smacked them all in the fucking mouth. You know what I mean?
Right. We'll never do it, though.
Nope.
Because then we'll be mean.
Yeah. Yeah, he talked about a 7.62 round.
That's what
I
my
can't.
my SKS is a 7.62. It's nice.
What's the 7.62 Christopher B? Is that an M16? M14 or something? I think I forget. He was talking about so many different weapons that I couldn't put what was with what. You know what I mean?
Correct.
But he was going into it, man. He was talking about how he was always the gunner. And he said this too. When you shoot those the thump, the grenade launcher things,
Right.
he said that they have a thing with them where they have to do so many spins before they activate. That way, in case you fuck up and drop one right in front of you, it don't blow up on you. And he said that he took this military dude, this big time dude came out, and he had to escort him around to some places and show him the places that, have had some battles and shit that's going on. He said that they were out there and there was one of those laying on the ground. And this fucking older dude, big time dude, he walks right up and picks it up. And my uncle's like, whoa, motherfucker, whoa. Don't pick up nothing. Don't pick up a piece of paper. Don't pick up a tree leaf. You pick up nothing out this motherfucker. They put bombs in everything out here. He's talking about Vietnam.
Right.
And he said that the dude ended up taking it and he just tossed it. And when he tossed it, it spun and clicked in. And when it hit, it blew up. And it scared the shit out of this dude. But it's, to sit here and hear about, it's fucking wild, man. And he remembers it like yesterday.
Yeah.
I told him, man, I said, man, I would love to do an interview with you. Just talking about Vietnam and then talking about the shit going on, with the shit going on. But he's 75. He don't know how to work no damn gadgets and shit. So I told him the next time he comes over, I'm going to set up a camera and we're just going to sit there and talk.
Yeah.
Because who knows how long he'll be, he might only make it another 10 years, 15 years, and he'll be out of here. Shit. Who knows? And then I asked him, I said, does any of this shit haunt you? You have nightmares and shit. And he says he has this one reoccurring nightmare. And he said it used to freak him out when he was younger, but now it doesn't do anything. And he said he's been having a reoccurring dream. He's like, not all the time, just every once in a while out the blue, he'll have the same dream. And he grew up farming as a kid. And then he went off to Vietnam. And he says he has this dream that he's standing at the bottom of this hill. And on top of the hill is a barn. And all of a sudden, the barn doors fly open. And a bunch of northern Vietnamese on horseback come flying out and heading straight towards him. And he says every time he has the dream, he wakes up before they get to him. And it's like, damn, that's weird, man. So it takes into account when you was a kid on the farm, horseback, fucking North Vietnamese,
Right.
coming. And he says they all have AK-47s when they come out the barn. I'm like, damn, man, that's some wild shit, man.
Some fucking old school shit.
Yeah. But could you imagine having that kind of dream for 50 fucking years? Fucking crazy, man.
That's why so many motherfuckers stay drunk and high all the time is because of shit like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I asked him, I said, man, I said, I know the first 10 years you came back after that war, you had to be fucked up. And he was like, yeah. He's like, that's why I was never really around anybody. He said when he came back 10 years, he said he was around a couple people that had, when you care about somebody, man, they emphasize with them or whatever the fucking word is.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he said he could deal with them. But he said, when you come back from a war like that, all out fucking blitz 4 tours in Vietnam, straight up war. He was in some of the worst shit too. He said, when you come back and then you're around people and they're bitching about how much bread is, or they're bitching about the fucking toilet paper not being soft enough. He's like, man, I couldn't be around people like that. I couldn't stand listening to somebody complain about pussy shit.
Right.
And I was like, yeah, I get that. And he said he felt for the ones that were in Afghanistan. He was like, that was a rough motherfucker. Like, whoever the fuck served in Afghanistan, the motherfuckers went through the shit. You know what I mean? Like, damn, man. It was interesting, man. I know I'm talking about my uncle too damn much, but it was interesting as shit.
Oh, you're good, man. Shit. I'm digging it. I'm sitting here just fucking taking in the story.
Yeah. He said this too. He said,
turn my camera off, but I'm still here.
all right. He said this too, man. He said that there should have been at least 50 times during the time he was there that he should have died. And I was like, God, I mean, could you imagine, man? Like, that I can think of a couple times in my life where I probably should have been dead. But just in a span of like 3-4 years, you should have been dead over 50 times. Like, I can't imagine the shit that does to a person's brain, man.
Right.
Crucial. You up in the crib. You ain't even out in the joint.
I'm in the boys' cabin.
Oh shit.
I had to use it as a workstation.
Oh, I see you. Is it cold? Is it cold where you're at now?
It's cold as fuck. It's like 40 something.
Damn.
Tonight is gonna be like 24.
I think it's I'm gonna check real quick. We haven't got the cold spill yet.
It's just some freak little cold storm coming in, because by Saturday it's gonna be 80 again.
It says we're gonna get down to 47. And it's only going to be in the 50s and 40s at night and 50s during the day for the next couple days. And then we jump back up into the 60s and then 70s. Man, that's wild shit. Get down to like 30 degrees and then 2 days later be 80 degrees. What the fuck is that?
Right. Dims were right. We need to give all of our money to the Paris Accord. Just accept it. Weather's gonna kill us all.
Yeah, no doubt. No doubt. Global warming. Yeah. Leave that, I'll tell you another one.
Exactly, Lady Smith. Man, we had like 30, 40 mile an hour gusts consistently for the last 2 days. So I ain't been motivated to get out there and do a whole lot of nothing. You know what I mean? Today I didn't do nothing but sit on the fucking computer all day.
Yeah. I actually went and hooked my uncle up, if you know what I'm saying.
Right.
I'll tell you what I got, man. You might know some of this. Oh shit, I ain't gonna be able to see some Tropicana.
Haven't heard of that.
Kush Mints.
Heard of that one.
Some Straw Dog Northern Lights.
Ooh, now, Northern Lights is a personal favorite.
Ah. And then I got there was another one he got that was indica. It was shit, garlic something, man. Damn it, I can't remember the name of it. I didn't even take a little bit of that one. He gave me a little tiny. Well, that's all I ask for. I just get a little piece of every kind. That way,
Right.
you know, I got a bunch of different kinds and I can try them out. But then this one is, oh shit, I can't fucking read it. Oh, here we go. This one is Amnesia OG.
Hey, I did some Amnesia this year. I did Amnesia Haze this year.
That was the most expensive, man. That was a 60 an eighth.
It's I will say that one is I did it in one of my the one I did in the dog cage. That was Amnesia Haze. So it was just a 5-gallon bucket grow. And I'm gonna be honest with you, I can't remember it at all because I went through it in like 4 days. You know,
Damn.
so I'm like, I ain't gonna lie, I'm on this White Widow, this Moab, and this Bruce Banner, and I I can't remember yesterday. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's that good.
Hey, it's some put you on your ass kind of shit. Like I got no motivation to do shit right now.
Hell yeah. I get nervous to ask you if you want to hang out on a live because I know you getting busy. You know what I'm saying?
Hey.
I'm like, shit, Hutch might be done by the time I go live.
See, that's why I got it separated because my green crack is my forever strain. You know what I mean? And so what I told you the other day, like that is single-handedly responsible for how much I've got done around here in the last couple of years. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that's my smoke it and get after it strain. But as soon as I take that shower after the day, boy, that White Widow comes a calling, and I'm like, yep, we good.
Yeah. Yeah. Man, I seen some shit today, man. When you go in to get your shit, they got a little window. Like you walk in, it smells lovely. You know what I'm saying? It's like the best smelling store ever. So you walk in, you got to walk up to this little window and you give them your card or whatever. And then they'll call you to come back. And then you go in the back and that's when they have their all their shit in the back and they got their registers and all that shit. So I'm sitting out there and this older man comes in. He had to be every bit of 70 years old. And I'm like, man, this is so cool. And my uncle's 75 and he been all his life. So, but it's just cool to see the older folks, man. And he sits down and he kind of talks, but he's talking so low. I didn't even know he was talking to me. And I was like, what's up, man? Because I was standing there and I was looking, pricing shit and looking for the most TAC because they got a screen up that goes through all the shit they got.
Right.
And he talked about that the garlic OG or the garlic whatever it was.
I've never heard of that one.
Yeah, because he was talking about it and he was like, I don't really like that Sensimilia. I like that indica. And I was like, oh yeah. He's like, yeah, I know what I'm gonna go with. And I'm just curious. I'm like, well, what you going with, man? And he told me what he's going with. But when I looked at him in his eyes, that motherfucker was smacked. I mean, he was driving. Man, he was zooted. You know what I mean? His eyes were glowing red. I was like, holy shit, you don't give a fuck.
Right.
I was like, man, that's it right there. You 70 years old. Who gives a fuck? You know what I'm saying? Pull me over, lock me, fuck you. You know what I'm saying?
Right. That's what it should be after a certain age, like boom. Any of that shit. You want to go do some heroin or some fucking crack. You're 65. Go ahead, enjoy yourself.
You about to enjoy it anyway. I ain't never met a 70-year-old crackhead though. I don't think they
not that old.
I don't think their heart can take it that age.
Keith Richards.
He's still smoking crack.
Cokehead, isn't he?
I don't know. I always thought he was just a
the
drunk.
Baking soda really that much of a difference.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. I've never smoked crack in my entire life.
I had some chick try to blow some in my face one time, and that was the first time I ever hit a bitch. I ain't gonna lie.
No shit. Yeah, fuck that shit, man.
The 90s, man. The 90s.
Yeah. I just always seen what it did to people, man. Like, nope, no way. I ain't doing that shit.
Right. That was my thing. Is like I seen how it I had a lot of buddies who were fucking sherm heads. And then I had the lesbians that I was hanging out with back in the day. The one's girlfriend was moving like big weight in fucking in rock and shit. So when I'm 13, she's showing me how to fucking break up cookies and shit and weigh them up and shit. Like, all right. And then hanging around her people, I'm like, yeah, it's like the literal dude wanting to suck your dick in an alley kind of thing. I'm like, yeah, I will never do any drug that makes me want to do anything like that.
Right. I tell you what though, man. 11, 12 years old, shit, 8 years old. I would PCP, shit. That's to be honest with you, like I haven't done it in years. I haven't done it in decades. But man, that was some fun shit, man. I ain't gonna lie. And I think it kind of ran in the family because my uncle loved that, green beans, man. My uncle loved that shit. My mama loved that shit. You know what I'm saying? And when I was younger, man, some people freak out, get butt naked, start running down the street and shit,
Right.
and shit like that, or
You see
end
the
up
motherfuckers that get stuck though? You ever come across some of those people that are just stuck for life?
Yeah, but it never did nothing like that to me. You know what I mean? Like in the high stepping, like I did some high stepping. Yeah, I remember I was driving one time, and I was driving a van, extended van, my uncle's van, and I forgot to hit the brake. I'm zooted, greened out. I'm coming to a left turn. Don't even think about the brake. 60, 65 mile an hour. Scare! Everybody in the back of the van slamming up against the joint. I'm laughing. Fucking van is tailing. You know what I'm saying? Right. I'm like, oh shit, motherfuckers cussing me. But everybody high, so everybody like, you motherfucker. I'm like, I forgot to hit the brake, man. My bad.
Like, oops.
Yeah, but it's
go ahead.
Wasn't scared at all. You know what I mean? Like, wasn't out of control. Never felt like I was out. It was just like smooth and slow motion almost. You know what I mean?
That's what I say. I did it once. I had a buddy. That's all he did. He'd wake up. He'd take 2 or 3 fucking lines on a fucking pool, and then he'd just be out in the front yard all day working out. You know what I'm saying? That was back when you just hung out on fucking porches all day long and shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's in the car. And he's getting ready to go back to Chicago for some shit. So he's like, here, come on, man, let's celebrate. I'm like, all right. I'm in a 95 Regal 4-door. Looks like a fucking undercover cop car and shit, right? Gunmetal gray. You know what I mean? Like full-blown fucking copped out motherfucker. There's like 4 people in this fucking thing, plus me, smoked out like a motherfucker. He lets me hit this motherfucking thing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like 2-3 minutes later, next thing I know, we're my back passenger door or driver's door is T-boned against the fucking light post because I saw the turn all the way up there, but like everything was so slow that I started turning here while I'm still watching the fucking deal. Yeah. Playing right into a fucking telephone pole. I pulled off of it and I was like, fuck. Just kept on driving down the road.
Yes, sir.
I can't do that shit no more, man.
Man, I would get the high stepping. You ever get the high step? Man, looking stupid as shit, man, and be people like come by and shit. Man, what the fuck you doing, man? What you stepping over? I ain't stepping over nothing. What you talking about? You know what I mean? Knees all the way up to your chest and shit. It's like, what the fuck?
It's like man, shit. So you got to make sure that they're there.
Yeah. It just everything's slow, man. Everything seems to be slow, but it's just comfortable. I don't know, man. I used to love it when I was younger.
It was good money, though. It was damn good money. I ain't gonna lie.
Oh, hell yeah. Shit, man. I would get a vanilla abstract bottle. I'd get a motherfucking pack of Newport 100s, and we'd go around to every grocery store we could and get nothing but parsley. And we would just bag it up. And as we were bagging it up, we would dip. Boom, to the head. Right. Keep mixing it up. Keep mixing it up. We would do dubs and 50s. You know what I mean? Because you would do I'm just going to tell y'all shit. This is the underground, man. I don't know if we're getting in trouble or not. I don't know. I might have to take this down afterwards. But a dub would be a tablespoon of parsley. You know what I'm saying? After you mixed it up and shit, you take a tablespoon, you dip it, and scrape it off in a flat, like as if you was cooking with.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that was a dub. And to make a 50, if you just wanted to hurry up and make a 50, it was just the cap of a vanilla abstract bottle. You just fill the cap and then you mix that in with your fucking parsley. And you could do as much as you want. If you want it real strong, use less parsley. You know what I'm saying? But you had to keep that shit in the freezer. You couldn't just store that shit anywhere. Like you had to keep that shit crystallized. You had to keep it in the freezer.
You could do they had the little fucking the tube things. I can't remember what the fuck they were, but you could dip it and then you could just carry a fucking stack of tubes with a rubber band around it and just sell a cigarette at a time.
Yeah, dippers.
Yeah.
Sherms. Yes, indeed. Man, man, Lord have mercy. Lord have mercy. It's just how you come up, man. If you come up, like I was lucky, to be honest, because if you look at drug addicts and people that really throw their whole lives away, it's usually the motherfuckers that were never around the shit. They end up 26, 30 years old first time they try to do something. They already got their life halfway together. They got a wife and shit. And then they end up hanging around somebody and they try some kind of drug. And they've never fucking done it before. And then next thing you know, 2 years later, they're fucking homeless. Their wife done left them. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like me, I was around drugs since the day I was born. So it was like, it wasn't even special. It was nothing special to me. It wasn't like, oh my God, what's this new thing? You know what I mean? It's like, oh yeah, that's what's up. I mean,
see, I didn't really know about it until I moved to the city with my old man. See, like the way everybody sees me right now, full blown hillbilly shit. Like I grew up that way, innocent young country boy. You know what I mean? But I had moved 32 times by the time I was 13. Like it's all small towns. So I got to the point where the time I got to the city, I was like, I'm jaded to life. Period. You know what I mean? I was like, okay, just look, hey, something else I can do. And if I jump into it, I jump into it hard. You know what I mean? And I did too hard.
Man, I could roll a perfect joint when I was 5 years old. I could break up the weed and sit there and roll it. All the grown-ups would be playing cards and shit. My uncle would just throw me a bag, man, throw me the papers. And I could sit there and break it 5 years old and roll the perfect fucking joint. And that's no bullshit, man. I swear to God on that. I could bag up shit when I was that young too. I 2-finger lids, all that shit when I was just a little ass kid, man.
Right. How dare you, Niecy? How dare you?
What'd she say?
Could weed be considered a gateway drug?
Oh, man, stop.
No.
Stop it. Shit, man, we used to have them little film canisters. That's what you used to keep the green in if you was going to carry it with you around and shit. Because you ain't want the sun to get to it, you know what I mean?
Little gray and black fucking 35 millimeter deals.
I still love them little containers, man. I got a couple of them. I just love them just because of the, you know what I mean, that factor back in the days and shit.
Hell, them ones you sent me here in a couple of weeks, I'm gonna be filling those full of fucking wax and keef and shit.
Yeah,
I love
no doubt.
Deals, man.
Fucking right.
Like little buckets.
Yes, sir. But I tell you what, though, man. Fucking drug dealers can be pieces of shit sometimes, though, man. I've seen motherfuckers take like a half gram of powder and dump like an 8 ball of fucking baby powder on that bitch.
Oh, I've done that so many times. It's a fucking small world. Like we're 200 miles away from where I was doing all this dumb shit, right? And there's still people down here from from the town that was and shit. Just random, you know what I mean? Like people like me, I guess. I know the gypsy crowd or some shit. A couple of years ago, there was some guy down here, and he swore up and down that I sold him a fucking an ounce of fucking parsley and shit like that. I was like, I was never a weed. I've never sold weed in my life. You know what I mean? I was like, you're putting this fucking shit on me. I was like, I might have sold you some sheetrock. but I swear to God, I never sold you no weed. You know what I mean? He was like,
Yeah.
fuck.
Shit, man. When times got hard, man, you could always grab a bar of Ivory soap, chip that bitch off. You know what I'm saying? Little 20s and 50s. You have to move around a lot that night, but you can make a couple $100 and then dip.
They forget about it the next day whenever you throw them a fucking little low.
Yeah, what they gonna do anyway, man? You talking about crackheads? You know what I'm saying? Like, what are you really gonna do?
I will say, crackheads are way more reliable than fucking meth heads when it comes to buying shit and getting work done. I will say that a crackhead will finish the fucking job. He'll bring you a 0-turn mower for like $25.
Yes, fucking VCRs, $10. Look, and not even $10, but a little piece. You know what I mean? The new movies, man, video games, bicycles.
You ever get to rent a car? We used to rent cars.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Like, let me rent your car for like 2 days and I'll give you like 60. 2 weeks later, we bring the bitch's car back to her and shit. You know what I mean? Man,
90% of the time we was driving a crackhead's car, man. You know what I'm saying? I ain't pushing dope in my car. You crazy? You know what I'm saying?
Dirty tags and shit. You know what I mean? Car seats still in the back.
And for the record, this is decades ago. Decades ago. I'm an old man now. I ain't doing none of that shit. I don't do none of that shit.
Is that because you don't want to, or you just don't have the opportunity to?
I'm too fucking lazy, man. I got sick. I got sick of the crackheads, to be honest with you.
It was a lot. It was a lot of fucking work.
Yeah, and they want to hit you up at 3 o'clock in the morning, 4 o'clock in the morning, 6 o'clock in the morning, 7 o'clock in the morning. Like, don't you ever go to sleep, motherfucker? You know what I mean?
That's what was great about it, though. You look at these motherfuckers now. They're so unreliable, man. You tell me you don't miss just seeing some random dude posted up at the fucking gas station. You're like, respect. You know what I mean? Like, that's fucking work ethic.
Right.
Nowadays, like, you got to come over here in 2 or 3 hours, maybe, but I'll let you know. You know what I mean? Like, there's no
people don't understand the mental part of it, because you got to worry about the crackheads robbing you. You got to worry about other motherfuckers robbing you. Your enemies robbing you. You got to worry about the police running up on you. I mean, it's damn near not worth it. I don't care how much you make, because then on top of that, you got to worry about the time in jail that you'll probably do. You know what I mean?
I used to look at it like almost like a career, to where you'd be like, okay, what is an acceptable risk to lose 10 years of my life? Is it $50,000? Is it $100,000? You know what I mean? Set the goal like that. Then you'd be like, okay, I can give up a year of my life for $70,000 cash.
Yeah,
those things, like, that's an acceptable exchange to me in my head.
Yeah.
That's pretty much how I did it back then. You know what I mean?
Man, if I ain't had some hard times, though, people just don't know about them hard times. Man, I tell a little story. Me and my brother, man, we were walking up all the way from this one place to this other place, man. We, young. I was like 15, 14. He was like 16, 17. We were down at this, like, place and shit. And this dude owed me some money. So he showed up where all these people are, and he's like, look, man, I don't have your money, but I do have this. And he had a nice little package. And I was like, all right, man, give it to me, man. I can fucking make my money off that. We're even. At least I got something I can go make my money off of it. So on the way home that night, it's about 2 o'clock in the morning, man. We're like probably a football field away from grandma's house. And here comes this cop, and this cop goes right beside us. And we're sitting there staring at him. We're like, should we run for the house, or should we just, is he going to keep going? Right. This motherfucker goes up about 3 football fields, and he whips a U-turn. So there's no way to go. No, if we would have took off running, he would have caught us before we got to the house. So I take the shit out of my pocket, man, and I throw that shit in the woods. So he rolls up on us. He fucking checks us all out. We're standing there for like an hour, hour and a half. You know, he's writing down every piece of clothes we're wearing. Well, if we get a call tomorrow saying something happened, we'll have you motherfuckers. All right, man, whatever. And we hadn't done shit. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So boom, when he gets done doing whatever and he says we can leave, it ain't like we can stand there and wait for him to fucking go. So we end up fucking going to the house. And I'm like, man, I threw that bag in the woods, but I know exactly where it's at, man. Fuck it. I'll get it in the morning, man. When we wake up, I'll run down there and grab it real quick. Ain't nothing but a thing. Man, wake up go to the house. Cop sits there the whole time to make sure we're going where we said we were going. I go to the motherfucking house. We go up in that bitch. We do what we do. We go to sleep. I wake up the next day. It's pouring down fucking raining. Pouring down fucking raining. Damn sure enough, man. It wasn't no Ziploc baggie. It was just one of them sandwich baggie flip joints.
Oh, yeah.
Done, man. It was like $700. Gone. And I was like 14, 15. That's a big chunk of change when you that young. You know what I mean?
Right.
I was fucking distraught, man. But that's
Smoking
the kind of shit.
You got him, y'all. Don't make me smoke alone, y'all. It makes me feel like I got a problem. Line him up.
What is that? Is that a joint?
Yes,
okay.
Sir.
Okay. Fired up. I know if TT1's still in here, I know he firing it up. Man, are we dry? Am I dry snitching on my damn self tonight or what, man? That was fucking 30 years ago. That's got to be off the books, right?
Yeah, you statute of limitations. You're good.
Yeah. It's like 7 years.
The statute of limitations on ran out.
Yeah.
Right. I kind of miss them days, man. Just running around being stupid.
Fuck yeah. And I think about my sons and shit. And when they get in their little bit of trouble here and there, they get in their little fights and shit. And then I think about myself and I'm like, man, they ain't do not even a third of the shit I was doing, man. Right. So I can't even be mad at them. You know what I mean?
I can't tell you how many cars and females that I wrecked in the 90s. It's weird going back to the place where you did a whole bunch of stupid shit and you see some of the people and you're like, oh, you got a husband and kids now. Wow. Does he know where that mouth has been? You know what I mean? The 90s were a weird fucking time, I will tell you that.
Yeah. There's shit that you do when you're younger. You know what I couldn't believe is all the people that have no idea just how grimy, cruddy, ruthless the streets are. And what like people's when I was younger, like what people's daughters would do and shit, and it's like they go home to their parents and their parents are like goody two shoes, fucking government workers, real nice people and shit. And it's like, do you have any idea what your daughter's doing out here, man? Do you know how much fucking powder she's putting up her nose, man? You know how many dudes she's been with? It's like, Jesus Christ. And I ain't hating. I mean, that's what I grew up in. So, some of my best girlfriends, they were ruthless, man. Ruthless. That's why I've said it on here. I've said, man, I got baby mamas that'll whoop most of the men's ass that I know on fucking YouTube. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I mean, just ruthless bitches, man.
There's reminiscent and shit. I'm too high to try to tell the story properly, but I can see it all in my head if that makes y'all feel any better.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Well, there's some shit that I will never tell. Right. Sorry, I ain't ever telling a lot of shit. Tell you the truth. But when you're young, man, you do crazy shit.
So yeah, I think everybody that I used to run around with and do that stupid shit, fucking two of them. Like when I went and took my Missouri vacation, I was 17, just turned 17, and I was pretty much the oldest one in the crowd. So everybody was Mooney was 14, so yeah, he was the youngest. No, little Derek was the youngest. He was 13. So either way, all of them motherfuckers. The one dude, he's strung out on that dope and shit. You know what I mean? Two of them, they got 27 years for beating a dude with a fucking hammer. I mean, the other dude got a life sentence for a fucking home invasion thingy. I mean, and then Elmer, he's on fucking dope too. So everybody that I was fucking around with back in the day doing dumb shit, they're either locked up for the rest of their fucking life or they're strung out on some fucking dope.
Yeah, man. Same here. Same here, man. That's why I look at myself and I'm not sure how much longer I'm gonna be here, man. Because yeah, I might have made it longer than all of them. But how long am I gonna be here? Because I never took care of myself, man. I never worried about that. I always figured I'd die by the age of 30. You know what I mean? So I never even thought about. And I was always skinny. Like I'm a bigger dude now. You get older, you gain a little bit of weight. That's what the fuck it is. But I mean, up until I was 35, I weighed 175 pounds at 6'2", 6'3". You know what I mean? Like I didn't have to worry about eating right or anything. It was just gone. My metabolism was just super fast. You know what I mean?
Right.
So it's like I never took care of my body, man. I just ate whatever the fuck I could get my hands on. And I didn't care about eating. Like I didn't care if it tastes good or nothing. I just wanted to stop the hunger. That's it. That's all I cared about, man. Let me eat some bread real quick. Let me throw a couple pieces. Still to this day, I love just taking 2 pieces of bologna and putting it on 2 dry ass pieces of bread and just eating that shit.
Right.
I mean, it's just how it is, man. I never really cared. It was a waste of time to me. I was having too much fun doing too many things all the time. And like, I'll sit here with Nisi, especially when we first met. And I would sit there and I would tell her, war stories and shit. When you first getting to know somebody, man, you could talk for hours. And I would sit there and tell her like 5 or 6 stories that seemed like it would take 6 months to do that shit. And it would be like in a span of 3 days. You know what I mean? I'd be like, damn, I did all that. And that was just a weekend. You know what I mean? Like, what the fuck, man? You live that fast life, man. It's fucking wild, man.
It's fun as fuck, though.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
I can't count the fucking times that we just fucking old school like a goddamn musical. 30, 40 motherfuckers out in the street. Bats and fists, like, fuck it. What are we doing, bitches? You know what I mean? So many fucking times.
Yeah. Man.
I miss that shit, man. Motherfuckers used to throw down back in the day. You know what I mean? Nowadays, it's all fucking sucker shit and fucking bitch ass excuses.
Yeah. And we're getting older, man. Now we get in a fist fight now, we're going to be breaking a fucking bone in our hand and shit. Right. Or, you know what I'm saying? There's a reason why boxers only box until they're like 30, 32. Because your bones can't take that shit anymore, man. It's like, fuck, man. And it got to a point, honestly, when it come to fighting, it got to a point that I was seriously damaged in the motherfuckers I was hitting. And it was like, damn, man, I'm going to end up in prison the rest of my life because I'm going to end up killing somebody just from punching them. You know what I mean? And not saying my punch was that fucking hard, but like you hit a motherfucker and they fall down and hit their head and they fucking die from hitting their head on the concrete or some fucking curb or something. You going to prison the rest of your life just because you punched a motherfucker. You know what I mean?
Yep.
It got to that point, man, and I was like, nah, man, fuck this, man. I got to keep my hands to myself.
Yeah, I did some fucked up shit on my last fight. I've told you once, I do believe. I'll never tell y'all, but that was like, yeah, I gotta tone this shit down a little bit. I was getting in that fucking. Boy, I was wolf, motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? I was getting it.
Man, I'll tell you a story. This is the truth. I was out. We were doing the This is how I got kicked off the Twin Towers. We stayed in this motel, and the motel had 2 stories. And we had a crew of like 20 motherfuckers. Like 10 of them were moving furniture. 10 of us were doing the carpet. And there was this older dude. He wasn't older, but I was 23 and he was like 40. And we all went to the bowling alley. And I was with my uncle, and my uncle got shit-faced drunk, man. And it was his van that, we were driving in and shit. So he got so fucked up that he couldn't even hardly talk. And he grabbed me and he's like, look, man, you got to get me the fuck out of here, man. Take me back to the hotel. I was like, all right, let me get the fellas together. He's like, nah, man, let's go right now. Fuck them. He was feeling bad. You know what I'm saying? I was like, all right, fuck them then. Let's ride. It's my uncle, man. I don't give a fuck. Fuck these dudes. I don't care, man. They'll get a cab or something, or I'll go back and get them later or something. So boom, we leave. I get him back to the hotel, man. He gets up to the hotel. I'm like, all right, I'm gonna go back to the fucking bowling alley, man. I'll be back. I'm going to leave the hotel. Here they come. As soon as we left, they had called a cab and came right back following us. So the motherfucking dude, he was like in the military and shit, man. He used to guard like nuclear weapons and shit. He was like a guard for the nukes. He was a pretty thick motherfucker. He was bigger than me. He probably had me by like 40 pounds. But and we're all drinking and shit. So I'm coming out. He's walking up the steps to the second. I'm coming out the hotel. I see them pulling in and shit. It's like 2 cabs. I'm like, all right, fuck it. I ain't gotta go get nobody. Time to party now. We can just party here. This dude gets out the car and he starts screaming at me. How the fuck you gonna leave us there, motherfucker? And I'm drinking too, and I'm fuck you, mother. You know what I'm saying? Right. I ain't even giving excuses at this point. I'm like, fuck you. Who the fuck? Now I'd already been in 2 fights. So I was told if I get in another fight again that I had to take it around back of the hotel, or if we was on the job, I had to take it off of the job's property, or else I was getting sent home. So I'm motherfucker, let's go around back. We got to go around back, motherfucker. So he comes all the way up the steps and he's like, running his mouth, yelling. He's like probably 2 feet away from me, screaming at the top of his lungs. And I'm real calm because I'm ready to hit this motherfucker. I'm like, dude, let's just go around back, man. So I walk down the steps and I'm standing down below and I'm like, come on, man, stop talking. I just remember telling him, stop fucking talking. Let's go around back. And I'm even thinking, man, I'm going to have my hands full with this motherfucker. You know what I mean? But ain't no sense in it. I'm not going to sit here and argue with you. So finally, he comes walking down the steps. He comes down, he gets beside me. We start walking, and he ain't saying nothing. I'm like, yeah, well, as soon as we get around this building, I want you to talk to me like you did when we were up there on that 2nd floor. This is what I'm telling him. Because, I'm mad now. I'm like, fuck it. And I know what I'm going into. Like, we going to fight. You know what I mean? Man, we walk around the motherfucking thing. We stop. I look at him. I'm like, dude, only thing you got to do is talk to me like you talk to me at the top of them motherfucking steps. And he went to look like he was going to say something, and I popped his ass. Boom! I nailed him. Wham! Right. And I dazed the shit out of him. One hit dazed him. And I knew right then, I was like, this dude can't do nothing. You know what I mean? I got him. So I told him, I said, look, man, I'm just going to walk away. I can tell right now, you ain't going to be able to handle no more of this, man. So I advise you, just leave me the fuck alone the rest of the time we here, homie. And he just looking at me like he's mad as shit. So I'm like, I'm going to turn around and walk away. Don't fucking come at me, man. So I went to turn and he started to come at me before I even got turned all the way to walk. And I hit his ass again. Boom! Laid into him. He stumbles back and like I hit him even harder that time. And I'm like, look, I'm telling you, man, I swear to God, this is the God's honest truth, man. I said, I swear to God, if I turn around and you come at me again, I'm going to put you to fucking sleep. I'm going to put you to sleep right here. You're not going to get up. And a grown, I'm sure that motherfucker was in his feelings like, Here's this young dude, smaller than me, and he's fucking me up. You know what I mean? So, and I knew he was going to come at me because I seen it in his face. He ain't saying nothing. He's mad as shit. I done popped him twice already. Man, I turned around and I was already knowing I'm going to hit his ass because I knew he was going to come at me. I turned around, man. I brought that motherfucker low and back, and I hit that motherfucker about as hard as I fucking could, and I caved in his fucking cheekbone. I broke his cheekbone up so bad that his eyeball dropped. But the bad thing that happened is when I dropped him, the back of his head, you know those curb, you know when you pull into a parking spot and it's got those concrete curb things that so the car don't go too far.
Right.
Well, when I hit him, his feet came up off the ground and his head hit first, and it hit right on the corner of that fucking curb and cracked his fucking head open, man. I mean, and you know, his fucking face is shattered, his eye dropped down, he's fucking
But he is alive and well today. He's happily married with children. He is fine. He is perfectly fine and alive.
Yeah, he is. I'll tell you what happened. So when that happened, these dudes that were on the furniture moving crew, it was this dude named Wilson. These dudes were from DC, Southeast DC, 14th Street, a matter of fact. And they come walking up, and I'm like, oh shit, I done killed the motherfucker, right? I completely panicked, man. I was like, oh fuck, I gotta get out. We're in New Jersey. I'm like, I gotta get the fuck back to Maryland. If I'm gonna go to jail, I'm gonna go to jail where my peoples are. You know what I'm saying? So I didn't even want to go back to the hotel. So I took a couple steps back. I thought he was dead, man. I was like, this dude's, there's no way. There was a pile of blood and shit. So I went to take off, and here come Wilson and this other dude, Thomas. I'm like, I think I just killed somebody, man. I think I just fucking killed somebody. So I walked back with them. They were like, oh shit, Jimmy, you gotta get the fuck out of here, man. I was like, oh fuck, man, fuck. So I take off. I go running down the fucking street. I'm in fucking New Jersey. I'm half fucking drunk. I think I just took somebody's life and shit. So anyway, I take off. About 2 hours later, I'm like, man, I gotta go back to the hotel to at least get some information. Because if it's that bad, somebody's gonna have to give me a ride to the bus station or something. You know what I mean? So I get back, and they had called the ambulance for him. And he was out of there, but he didn't mention no names. He was awake. But what was so fucked up is he had to go in the bathroom of the hotel room, and he got in the bathtub, and he like leaned up against the back of the wall, and he fucking slid down, and you could see a splatter of blood with blood just, you know, a whole streak of blood coming down all the way down to the drain of the bathtub. I was like, holy shit, this dude's bleeding to death. But here's what ended up happening. He ends up getting out the hospital, but his face was so fucked up that he was done. So the next day, even though I took him around back, they kicked me off the job.
Those motherfuckers.
Yeah. So guess who had to drive this motherfucker all the way back to Maryland so he could go to a specialist and get his face fixed up?
That's karma, man. That's karma.
My uncle drove, I was in the passenger seat, and he was behind me the whole time for like 5 hours. I just kept thinking, this motherfucker's gonna slip my throat back there. You know what I'm saying?
Choke you the fuck out.
But he ended up having to get his face opened up and his bones reconstructed and eye put back in place and every fucking thing, man. It was after that when I was like, holy fuck, I gotta chill the fuck out. You know what I mean?
Right? Why are you so violent, man? Jesus Christ.
Man, he was super aggressive towards me. You know what I'm saying? Like, if anybody would have seen what was going on, you would have thought this dude was going to kill me. You know what I mean?
Did you deserve it in hindsight?
Nah, nope.
I know that there's been a couple times that I can look back and be like, yeah, if I was the other guy in certain situations, I would have been in the right. You know what I mean? But it was like, fuck it. Boredom will make you do some dumb shit, though. It's like, right or wrong, I don't give a fuck. If you're bored, teenager running around the city doing the shit I was doing, you could fucking get into anything.
Well, but you got to think about this too. You got to think about this. The people that I was hanging around with, you can't be soft, man. You can't let somebody, you know. I'd already been in a couple fights. Like motherfuckers was trying me all the time because I was a skinny dude. And I talked a lot of shit all the time. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I mean, you know, I got a big mouth, man. And you come at me stupid, man. Fuck you. You know what I mean? So you end up fighting and shit.
How the fuck do you think it was for me? All right. So I come from straight fucking cousin fucking mom side of the family. Moved to the city, right? I get introduced to the whole fucking gang by a bunch of black lesbians. You know what I mean? So I'm walking around, you know, motherfuckers like, who's this little white twink looking motherfucker y'all got rolling around? You know what I mean? Because they know what they do. You know what I mean? So like, I had to work up from that fucking image. Like, no, I'm new. You know what I mean? I just met them first. Let's calm it down. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Hey, it was a struggle, man, but I got there. Determination.
Man, I had to hold my own all the fucking time, man. You know, 90% of the time I was the only white boy.
Is that the dude that hit you with a power stretcher?
You know what I'm saying? Nah.
Oh.
That's another dude. Oh, you want to hear about the time I got my ass whooped? Thanks, Niecy.
You almost died.
Well, here's the time I almost got my ass whooped. I deserved every bit of it, though, man. I'm just gonna throw it out there, man. Y'all might get a kick out of it. So we're working at this Marriott up in DC, and there's this dude, man. His name was Bobby. This motherfucker was like probably 5'10", probably. I gotta size him up because he fucked me up. So I gotta make him out to be what he was, man. He was one of them little stout fucking rocks. You know what I'm saying? Right. He was like 5'10", probably 220, 230, nothing but fucking brute. You know what I mean?
Little cockstrong motherfucker.
Yes, and ignorant as fuck. You know, grew up with nothing, straight gutter. And it was like, fuck, man. So this man, I ended up doing some dirty shit, man. I did some fucked up shit and kind of did him dirty a little bit. And we ended up, you know, kind of squashing it, but we wasn't really talking, but we were on the same crew working and shit. And I'm sitting there loading some carpet up on a dolly. And this other dude's helping me do it. And it's kind of fucked up because the other dude, man, he ain't even tell me it was coming. I'm sitting there and if you know what a power stretching pole is, a power stretching pole is two pieces of tube metal that's put together and you push a button and extend it so you can stretch big, humongous pieces of carpet.
Oh, okay.
You add the poles together. They're about I would say 2.5, 3 foot in length, but you can open them up to twice that.
Right.
This motherfucker comes up from behind me, man, and hits me in the back of the head with one of them motherfuckers. Full force. Wham!
God damn.
And it knocked me out. Now, this dude, and on top of this is I'm 19. I was 19 years old. This dude was like 32. And roughneck. This dude was a roughneck. I ain't gonna take nothing from him. He was a dirty old boy. He ain't give a fuck. So he hits me in the back of the head with this motherfucker. I get knocked out, but my legs didn't give out. So I'm completely blacked out. I don't even know who's hitting me yet or anything. So I kind of like turn, and when I turn, he hits me again, but he hits me in my ribs. Cause you know, I'm reaching up to grab my heads, and I turn, and boom, he hits me in my ribs. And then I hear it. I hear the fucking pole hit the ground and go, ding, 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 ding. And when he hit me in my ribs, I can't, you know, I'm holding my head. I just got smashed in the back of the head, just got hit in the ribs. I'm bowing down. Next thing you know, this motherfucker's punching me in the back of my head as I'm like, my legs won't give out though. I'm standing hard as a motherfucker. Like not even bent. I mean, I don't know what the fuck. My legs were like Superman. So I'm sitting there holding my shit and he's pounding on the back of my head. I still don't even know who the fuck hit me yet because I can't see. But as he's hit me in the back of the head, it starts waking me up. I guess from the doom, 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 doom in the head, it kind of like revived me. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I get frustrated as he's hit me and I, you know, get away from him and I kind of back up and he backs up. And, you know, and I'm fucked up, man. I mean, my eyes were completely bloodshot red. I mean, I was fucked up, but I still hadn't fell. And all of a sudden, no. I fucked up. When I bent over and he grabbed me and threw me into this fucking thing where they used to stroll them. It had wheels on it. And it was a real tall thing. It was probably 6 foot tall, 7 foot tall, and it had nothing but like glasses in it that you could take and go wash them and shit. But I'm talking about, it was like a wall of them, but they were on like a dolly. Yeah. So he fucking grabs me, throws me into that. So glasses are falling everywhere. I bounce off of that and I'm still holding myself. And that's when he started punching me. So when he did that, we were in the hotel where the loading dock is, so where all the workers are. There's security there. There's all the maids are walking around, doing their jobs. The cafeteria is down there. So I couldn't hear it at the time, but after he threw me into that thing, everybody went nuts and all the maids were screaming to the top of their lungs. They didn't know what the fuck was up. Like, we're causing complete mayhem in a fucking Marriott. So boom, when I finally come to and I'm getting away from him and backing up, here comes fucking security in this door, security in this door. And the dude that was helping me load the rug, he walks up to me because when I got away and I grabbed my fucking knife out of my pouch because you always carry a hook knife and a razor blade. And I'm like, okay, now I know who it is. I ain't got no other choice. I got to come at you with a weapon, homie. And I'm glad that it worked out the way it did because he'd have probably took it from me and beat my ass with it and fucking killed me. You know what I mean?
Right.
Because I was already fucked up. I mean, I was not in the right frame of mind. You know what I mean? So all these security, so the dude that was helping me load the rug, it was this big ass dude. He comes walking up. He's like, give me the fucking knife. Give me that knife and walk with me. Walk with me. And I'm like, well, what the fuck are we doing? Where are we going? You know what I mean? Like, I'm fucking out of it. So we bust through these double doors. We start walking down this hallway. Security runs up on the dude that fucked me up. And then as we're walking down the hallway, security comes busting out into the hallway. I had given him my knife and he got my other knife out of my thing too. So I wouldn't have no weapon on me. And the fucking security rushes up on us and they're like, what's wrong with you? What's wrong with you? What happened to your head? What happened to your face? And I was like, nothing, man. I was loading some rug and the rug fell on me. And he's like, don't fucking bullshit me. You're on fucking camera. Don't fucking lie to me. I said, I'm telling you, man, I was go look at the fucking camera if you want to. The fucking carpet fell on me. And so they ended up walking. They were like, well, you walk outside and wait for us right outside. I walk outside and nothing happened. My uncle came to me. He gave me the keys to the van. He's like, you got to leave the property. They're going to arrest you if you stay on the property. So go get in the van, go up to McDonald's. We'll meet you up there in a little bit. I got to pack up all the tools, got to do this, got to get everybody together. Boom, bam, bit, man. So that's what ended up happening with that. And let me tell you what happened to that dude. Like, less than a year later, he ended up in a motorcycle accident, and now he walks around all fucked up. He can't use one of his arms. He can't use one of his legs. He's like all fucked up. I'm like, I want to see him so bad because I'm going to talk shit. Why don't you try me now, motherfucker? You know what I'm saying? Put him up, bitch. You know what I'm saying? But man, I took an ass whooping that day. But I got to be honest. I deserved every fucking bit of it, man.
What'd you do, man? What did you do?
I ended up costing him like $1,700. I'll just put it like that.
Oh, yeah. You deserve that ass whooping.
Yeah. And he was actually good to me. You know what I mean? I was just young, dumb, fucked up, and then was too fucking prideful to say I fucked up. You know what I mean? So instead of being prideful and being respectful towards a older person who watched out for me and shit and just apologized and tried to make it right, I tried to act like I didn't give a fuck and fuck him. And I ended up getting mine. You know what I mean? I got what I deserved.
I've been there.
Yeah. 19, man. You know, you do dumb shit like that when you're young, man.
Right. That's how you learn.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm boring the shit out of y'all in the chat. I be forgetting I'm even live right now, man. I'm just telling old war stories, man. Reliving the days.
Yeah,
I never.
One time that we were like, I was on the run from the halfway house, so I was out maybe 2 weeks since I ran. So I got somehow I ended up with like a cherry 86 Bronco. You know what I mean? Like a 6-inch lift, clean as fuck. So I got a couple of the fellas with me from out of town because they got warrants and they were hiding over here. Then I'm on the run, and then I got my brother, he's running from the same case that I got, but he's running from a bigger thing too. So he's laid down in the back and shit. And then there's some random ass white chick sitting in the seat next to me. Like I don't know who the fuck she is. One of the dudes brought her. So we're driving down, just out of nowhere. I see there's two detectives, and they work in one works in this county, the other works in this county, and I've been arrested by both of them, right? So they both know me, but for different things. So he's fucking with somebody, and we drive by. I was like, "That's right, bitch. That's why you some shit like this." He fucking jumps in, pops cherries, and chases me down and shit. Right? I'm like, "Oh fuck." Like literally, there's two people in the car who don't have warrants. Everybody else is freaking the fuck out. Right? I'm sitting here.
Oh shit!
I'm 16, something like that. You know what I mean? So fucking I'm in this big jacked up fucking blazer in the middle of the fucking city. Cop fucking catches up with me. He walks up to the window. He was like, "Who you calling a bitch?" I was like, "I was talking to her." I was like, "What are you talking about?" He's sitting there like, "What the fuck?" I was like, "I didn't even see you." I was like, "I was yelling at her. She's saying dumb shit." You know what I mean?
Right.
Freaking the fuck out. I'm like, "Oh, I'm going back to fucking jail." You know what I mean?
Yes.
So I get the lecture and shit. You know what I mean? And then I somehow, luckily, he didn't want to be a fucking bitch that day, but he walked off, and I was like, "Oh fuck." We got like a block and a half, and they were like, "Yeah, we got to get us out of this fucking car."
Yeah.
Yeah, the days, man.
I tell you, we were driving down. It's a place called Accokeek. It's up in Prince George's County, Maryland. We on this back road. Damn, I can't remember the name of the road, man. Anyway, I'm driving. I got my homeboy Lil Sean in the back. I got a little young dude. This motherfucker was like 15 grand on him at all times. Heavy. I'm telling you, man, some of the biggest pushers can be little 13-year-old girls because their parents are big time fuck. You know what I'm saying? Like people just don't realize the game. So, this is years ago, man. I was probably 18, 19 at the time. This is all around the same time. So I'm driving down this road. This is right close to dark. It's not quite dark out, but it's dark. I don't know. I might have already told this story, but here comes this fucking car right up on my ass. Now, my homeboy Lil Sean, he got a book of acid. 10 sheets, 100 hits a sheet. I mean, you're talking about, you get caught with that, you doing 10 years right off the bat. If not, they could give you 100 years.
Yeah.
You do not want to get caught with that much shit. And we also had
acid is big time.
Yeah, especially if you got a book.
Yeah.
So, most people never even seen a book. You know what I'm saying? Most people never seen a sheet. They see a couple cut up little pieces or something. Or anyway. So, and I'm telling you, this kid 15 with a book. I mean, dude was a beast. Young little dude, man. He had a fucking eye that it would sit up, and it was his whole black pupil and everything was like a little BB. He had one eye, and he could see perfect. He had no eyesight problem. He had 20/20 vision, but one of his eyes sat up, and it was the size of a BB. The whole fucking thing was like, I mean, he had a regular size eyeball, but the coloring in your eyeball was the size of a BB. It was fucking, he looked crazy, especially if you was high around him, because you'd be like, man, what the fuck? But he was the coolest. He was God rest his soul, man, because he died. He was like 37, man. It's fucking crazy. But anyway, this fucking car comes up on us. He's about 2 feet off my bumper, headlights blaring. It ain't quite dark outside, but it's still enough to be in all your mirrors and shit. And this motherfucker right up on my ass. So I get pissed. We come to the motherfucking light. I jump out the car. I'm like, man, what the fuck is your problem, man? You fucking follow me down this motherfucker. This motherfucker hits the fucking lights. Boom. Oh, shit. Motherfucking undercover. I couldn't fucking believe it, man. But But the thing about it is I was so pissed and I felt like I was such in the right. And at that time, immediately when I knew it was a cop, I was a smart motherfucker, man. I ain't play no games. I was great at what I did. So I immediately knew if I completely changed the way I'm acting, he's gonna know I'm hiding something. So I gotta continue to be this fucking asshole, right? I'm standing, when he hits the lights, he gets ready to take off his shit. He gets ready to get out the car. I'm still yelling. Lil Sean's in the back seat of the car, and I'm right by the back doors of the car. He's fucking yelling at me, shut the fuck up, get back in the car, man. He thinks his life is over, right? You know what I'm saying? He's like, I'm 15, I'm gonna see daylight when I'm 80, motherfucker. So this cop gets out the car, I'm still yelling. And I'm like, man, I don't care. I kind of calmed it down a little bit. I ain't at the top of my voice. I'm not acting like I'm a fight now, but I'm still a little bit aggressive. I'm like, man, that's fucked up, man. Here I am driving. You're fucking 2 feet away from my bumper, man. You could have caused me to go up into a fucking tree. You know how much I had to concentrate because you was up on me? This motherfucker apologized to me and apologized to everybody in the car and said, man, really, you're fucking right. You know what I mean? We shook hands. The motherfucker got back in his car. We got back in the car and I dipped out.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, what's the chances of that, though? You know what I'm saying?
As long as you own it, man, you got to keep going with the story until it works.
You better own it. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You better own that shit.
Shit, as soon as you back down, you done.
Yes, sir.
Hey.
Man, I got 1,000,001 stories. I should just do story time on the fucking underground because I got so many fun fucking stories, man. Unbelievable stories.
See, I've been trying to figure out a way because that's why I've been bullshitting about that fucking hutchography for a year now. Is because I'm not a storyteller. You know what I mean? And it just feels weird talking about some things. You know.
I love it, man, because it takes me back there. Like when I'm sitting here telling y'all about these things, it's like I'm sitting there again. You know what I mean? I love telling stories about shit I've been through, man. It's just it keeps you on your toes, man. It keeps you humble. You know what I mean?
I remember there was this imagine Barry White, but with like the Hulk Hogan hair. You know what I mean?
Oh shit.
And this dude, he drove a fucking I can't remember. It was a Corvette or a Trans Am, something with T-tops. You know what I mean? Like we called him Jet. You know what I mean? Just like he was fucking rock. I can't remember exactly what it was, but one of them tiny ass sports cars. Looked funny as fuck. But he lived across from my my brother, was the dude I caught the case with. Fake motherfucker. He lived across from his mom's house. So whenever we'd be over at his house, just hanging out on the front and shit, he'd always pull up, every day he's got a different chick with him. Every single day, just some random ass fucking bitch. So one day he looks over, he's like, hey, because we've been there long enough that he knows, like he's been seeing the shit that we've been doing out here in this fucking front yard. You know what I mean? He's like, okay, they're cool. So he brings us into his fucking house. And he's got a fucking 8-foot tall shelf that's like fucking 5 foot wide floor, VHS tapes of all homemade fucking sex tapes of every chick that he had brought in that motherfucking house.
Damn.
So, and he was old too. He was like 50. He might have been pushing 60. You know what I mean?
Oh, shit.
Just a nasty motherfucker, right?
Pervert.
Right? So, my dude's mom ends up getting, she needs like a maid in-house cleaner thingy, not for disability, just because she worked too fucking much and like we weren't cleaning shit. So, it was kind of one of those. So, yeah, this chick's over there cleaning the house. You know what I'm saying? We're in there smoking it out, just some random 40-year-old chick in there cleaning the house. You know what I mean? 2 days later, Jet's like, hey, come over here. Boom. Sex tape of that bitch. We're like, what the fuck, bro? Like, Jesus Christ.
Man, what this dude? Tape every bitch in the fucking county?
Everyone. You know what I mean? Like, while we were in there, like, looking at this shit, he's got one chick knocking on the fucking door already. And he was like, oh, look, this is who she is. And pops in another fucking tape. It's like, Jesus Christ. Dude. I was like, man.
I bet you he was paying him.
He probably was. I think they were all crackheads.
Yeah, he was paying them motherfuckers, man.
It's a misconception that crackheads are skinny. There are some very very big bitch.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, man. My you know, when I talk about my brothers, I consider their grandmother my grandmother, but I don't consider their mom my mom. They don't even really consider their mom their because she never took care of nobody. You know what I mean? She was a real bad crackhead, but she was like she was every bit of 280, 300 pounds, and she was straight up on that shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like there is some big ass crackheads, man. It's a crazy world, man. It's a crazy fucking world.
I'm just sitting here going through all the shit. Like I'm having major fucking flashbacks and zoning out and shit.
Yeah. We were some wild motherfuckers, man. I got stories for days. I'm gonna have to do another underground. I'm serious. I'm gonna have to do more undergrounds, maybe 2 undergrounds a week, just so I can have one underground just for story time. Right. Shit. I got some shit, man. And my homeboys too. Like my homeboys were some wild motherfuckers, man. You know what I mean? They really were. And the couple white dudes, the very few couple white dudes that I hung out with, them motherfuckers were the craziest one. I'm telling you, white people are fucking loonies, man. They're fucking lunatics.
I will say some of them are bitches though. Test them. I'll just say that. Because you never know.
Yeah, I didn't hang with the bitches though. You know what I'm saying? I ain't hang with the bitch ass dudes.
My dude's little brother, there was like 5-year difference. So we had our people, you know what I mean? Like we were 15, 16, 17, you know what I mean? So he's got his little fucking crew. And like once we got up to that age to where they finally caught up to the shit that we were kind of doing, it's like everybody they fucking brought around was the weakest pieces of shit. Like we had to fucking answer the fucking brother bat phone so many goddamn times because he done got his ass whooped or one of his fucking people done took off left him at a fucking fight and shit. You know what I mean? I'm like, man, what? You're giving motherfuckers a bad reputation. You know what I mean? Like at a certain point, just take the ass whooping. You know?
Man, I had a homeboy. His name was James. And he's the one, I know I've talked about him. Anybody that's been with me, I told you about my homeboy James. He ended up jumping in a river and he killed himself. This motherfucker, man. I'll tell you just one little quick story. This motherfucker was wild, man. Wild as shit. He always got me in trouble. I've got 100 stories with this dude. He was just the funnest motherfucker you ever want to be around. But you know when you're around him, some shit's gonna happen. We go to the mall. Just me and him. We gonna go pick up a fucking outfit, some shoes or something. You know, I forget what the fuck we was doing, but we you know, when you walk up in the mall, you can walk up in the little side spots and shit, or you can walk up in the main stores like Marshall's or Sears or some shit like that. So, and I forget which one it was. I want to say it was Sears, but it was a clothing store. Man, we ain't had no plans of fighting nobody. You know, we ain't just get done watching Menace to Society or nothing, so we weren't all hyped up. You know what I'm saying?
I see you more as a Macy's kind of guy.
It might have been Macy's. So we walked up in this motherfucker, man, and we get about 10 feet in, and he said, "Hey, man, watch this shit." And in front of us about, I would say, them dudes had to be at least from here to my kitchen twice that. So probably about a good 80 feet away, there was 2 Asian dudes just walking, minding their own business, backs to us. He said, "Man, watch this shit." And I mean, out of the blue, just for the fuck of it, he runs up on these 2 dudes and commenced to whooping their fucking ass, man. It was the most, you know, I'm trying to get me an outfit, man. It wasn't none of that after that. He runs up on, he hits one, boom, he grabs the other, picks him up, slant. You know how they had those tables and they'll have like layers of shirts, or they'll have a table with a bunch of flip-flops or some shit like that.
The little kiosk shit.
he picked this motherfucker up, slammed him on the table breaks, shirts fly everywhere. The fucking workers, the women workers in there start screaming and running. The fucking other Asian dude that he hit at first, he comes back at him. James grabs him, throws him into, you know how they got the A-shaped fucking things and they got shirts on both sides or whatever the fuck it is. Yeah. He fucking slams him up into that. I mean, he's just whoop and hear me out though, because it's funny as shit. He whoops these two motherfuckers at. When he takes off running, I'm not even sure what he's going to do yet. I mean, he gave me no warning. I didn't know what the fuck this dude was going to do. And I probably had an inkling. It was so long ago. I can't remember if I kind of felt like he was going to do that or not. But he just kind of took off jogging, man. And then, boom, he started doing it. So I start, let me come help. There's two of them against just him. Man, by the time I caught up with him, he had demolished these two dudes. And I'm like, oh, shit, man, we got to get the fuck out of here. So, boom, we run, get back in the car. Now, it was my homeboy, Little Joe, and another homeboy that I had, William. Now, they had went in somewhere else. We had kind of split up. So me and James, we get back to the car. We drive the car like out as far as we could in the parking lot. And we're just waiting for, we got to wait for our homeboys, but we don't have cell phones back then. This was before cell phones and shit. So we're just waiting. We know they're going to come walking out looking for the car or something. But we know the police, we on camera and everything. We up in the store doing this shit. You know what I mean?
Right.
Man, I swear to God to you, man, this is no bullshit. All of a sudden, you see my homeboy, Little Joe, come run. We could see the food court and we could see the other side of the mall. We were trying to get in a spot where we could see a lot of doors in case they came out. Here comes my little homeboy, Little Joe. He's the youngest out of all of us. He comes running out of the fucking food court doors as fast as he can. Man, there was like 30 fucking Asian dudes chasing his ass. The two dudes that James fucked up, they were there with a whole gang of motherfuckers, man. It was like the oh my God, man, this dude's running like and I could tell you the whole because something happened with them, and because somehow they knew that we all was together. So when they seen them in there, they knew, well, they were with them earlier and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Because we were around that whole area. It's called Waldorf. We were around that whole area floating around all the time. But man, it was funny as shit because me and James are sitting in the car and there's 30 motherfuckers chasing them. And we're like, well, we gonna get out and help him? I don't think so. You know what I'm saying? That motherfucker better run. You know what I'm saying? Oh, it was so fucked up, man. It was so funny. We're sitting there crying, laughing, watching this dude run. And I'm not bullshitting. When I say 30 motherfuckers, there had to be at least 30. I mean, it was like a whole fucking crowd of people chasing, and it was all Asian dudes. It was like weird as shit. You know what I mean? It was like, holy fuck.
That would have been the funniest ass whooping ever, though.
Oh, hell yeah, man. The whole fucking man, I was crying laughing when he started whooping the two dudes' asses. Like when I started running to him, I'm giggling like shit because it's, out the blue, you don't expect it. It's like, what the fuck is he doing?
Right.
Oh, man, good times, man. Good time. All them dudes are dead, man, except for William. William ended up moving down to Georgia. He got married. Little Joe's dead. He hung himself from a tree. And James, he's the one that jumped in the river, and they found his body 2 days later.
Oh, I retract the statement that I said earlier. I do have one buddy that made it out. He lives down in Alabama. I forgot all about him. Yeah.
That's what's up.
I haven't talked to him in like 2 years.
Fucking wild shit, man. Wild shit. I always had a lot of people tell me, even Nisi, a bunch of other people, they were like, man, you should talk to an author and do a biography of all the shit that you went through in your life and shit. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Because
it'd probably be some good reading, man. If I would have ever got some big money, I probably would have done it and took the time to just sit back with somebody that could write and just tell them all the different shit that I could remember of all the shit I went through, even from a little kid and shit, man. It was some wild shit.
See, my deal is, I don't know. Do you ever feel this way? It's like some of the stuff that I've done is, to me, just seems batshit crazy to the normal person. So it seems like it's, you know what I mean? It's gonna come off as fake as fuck. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know if it's just self-conscious or what.
Yeah, because I don't worry about that.
I'm not the only one who's done it, because like the people that I was with did it with me every day. I was like, you know what I mean? So like, it's not a unique thing, but I know it's something that the mass majority has never even considered doing some of the shit that I did. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I never worry about it, man, because I know what I've lived through. I know, and I can remember. You know, it's so good. Like there's no way that I don't need to make up anything. I don't need to make up a story, man. All the shit that I played around with, man. Believe me, I don't need to make up nothing to be interesting. That's for damn sure. Man, I think me and you would have had some fun if we would have known each other when we were younger, man.
Oh, we would have hurt some people. It would have been bad. It would have been really bad.
Yeah. That's probably why life made us not meet each other till we were older, you know what I mean?
Right.
Because shit, man, when I was younger, I was traveling up and down I traveled all the way from California to Maryland. Like Missouri would have been nothing to me.
Right.
19, 20, 25 years old. Shit, you want me? I'll be there tomorrow, man. I'm on my way. You know what I'm saying?
I'm saying, man, I lived on the fucking highway. Like I had a 200-mile circle around the fucking house, and I got to the point where I'll be back in a minute. Like that was my saying. You know what I mean? So it got to the certain point to where motherfuckers were like, no, you won't. We'll see you in 3 days. I'm coming with you. You know what I mean? Because I'm like, I'll be back in a minute, and I'd literally be gone for like 2 months. You know what I mean? Like, where the fuck you been? I'm like,
Yeah.
Like, I'm hungry. I'll be back in a minute. 3 days later, I come back. Hey, what's going on? That's when I want to go. I want to go. You know what I mean?
Yeah. We was free back then, man. When you're younger, you're a lot freer. You don't have no responsibilities to take care of or nothing, you know?
Let me show you. While I'm thinking about it, let me show you what I was pushing when I was 15 here. So I got some stories about your kind of van too. I got some fun stories about an Astro van.
Yeah.
My bad. I'm slow as fuck.
Oh, that's all right. Shit. I'm just reading the chat, see what they talking about.
I need a new phone. This signal fucking sucks.
All right, fish sticks. Yeah, I appreciate you chilling, man. Listen to my dumbass stories.
Well, until this pops up. Yeah, we had a 89 Astro van. It was white with the two blue stripes straight down the middle.
Yeah.
Fucking the only real seat was the driver's seat, and then the fucking the doghouse was missing, and then it was a milk crate screwed onto a seat out of a mail truck. Remember the old square S10 mail trucks?
Yeah.
So it was just that, and then in the back it was just a couple tires with some like U-Haul throw blankets and shit over top of them.
Damn.
We used to we went up to first time I was ever meeting this dude, really like going anywhere, like actually letting him in my car and shit, because I was like, hey, I'll be back in a minute, and my buddy Pilgrim was like, oh, fuck that, I'm coming with you. And that was his people, so he came with him. So we ended up in Kansas City, Kansas, and fucking he thought he was going to be slick and shit, just ignorant motherfucker, loud talking son of a bitch. So he pops open that sliding door, like we're at a stoplight. He pops open that sliding door, and there's a couple fucking crackheads on the corner and shit. So this bitch walks up to him and shit. He's like, hey, you looking for something? You know what I'm saying? She plays the game and shit. She reaches down and starts rubbing on his dick and shit. He's all like, hey, what's going on? Next thing you know, she hauls back and slaps the fuck out of him. starts digging in his fucking booty pocket and shit. He's like, "Get this bitch off of me!" We're sitting there like, "What the fuck?" So I just gun it and shit, and he's fucking kicked back. I'm like, "What the fuck?" He was like, "Take me home, take me home." I'm like, "What the fuck are you opening doors for, dude?"
She was rolling his ass.
Hey.
Hell yeah, man.
I'm afraid of how much I can say. You know what I mean? It's fucking weird.
Man, women will do that. Women will roll your ass quick as a motherfucker. Like, people just don't understand. The streets is a motherfucker.
He was funny as fuck. I will say he never rode with me again. He was like, "Nah, I don't go to the places you go." I was like, "Shit, if you're gonna," he was just trying to like he used to sell weed at the high school to all the skaters and the burnouts and shit. So this was like his first introduction to, this is where you sell crack. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, those kind of things.
It's a whole different story here, buddy.
Yeah. You live and you learn, I guess. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's dangerous. Like you don't want to go to certain areas if you've never been around it and you don't know how to carry yourself, because they'll sniff you out quick as a month. It only take them 2 seconds to know you a square body and you ain't never been around nothing like this. They'll work you like a motherfucker. And they don't have to worry about it. They can erase you and don't have to worry about it. They ain't gonna get caught. You in their territory.
Boom. This is what I was driving, but it was canary yellow.
Oh shit. Hell yeah. Damn, look at the size of the front end on that motherfucker.
Y'all see that? Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Old ass Lincolns, man. 79
Yes,
Lincoln. I had a couple of those. And well, I was pushing them like until I bought my first car. I just drove the old man's car, and he was fucking obsessed with Lincolns. My brother had Cadillacs and LTDs, so like it was nothing but fucking square bodies. My brother was a bitch, so I wasn't driving his shit. So the old man would always have a fucking. He worked at a taxi place, and he did some other shit. We've always been able to just come across cars. I don't know, genetic, I guess. But yeah, nothing but big ass square bodies for me. Man.
Shit, I talk about Lil Joe. His little brother worked with me for like 17 years. He was my helper. His mom, when me and Niecy first hooked up, his mom had that car, and it was the 4-door. And in the back, it had like the cigarette lighters and the cigarette ashtrays in the doors, like all nice and shit. You know what I'm saying? It's a beautiful car still. The mom ended up getting it. I try not to put people's names out there, you know what I'm saying? But she got it. It was like some old folks had it and had it garage kept. And I think the only thing wrong with it was the fuel pump was messed up and one of the windows in the back wouldn't go down. Other than that, I think it had like 60,000 miles on it. I mean, it was white. Nothing wrong with the interior. Nothing. I drove it around a lot, man. I used to use her car to do a lot of shit because it was right before my van was off the road. And then I ended up getting a Caravan minivan. But in between time, I would use her car to like do shit with the kids and whatever I had to take care of. She'd let me use her car and I'd drive that big body bitch all over the place. You know what I mean? Them things were boats, man. They would like float. You know what I'm saying?
That's why you hit that highway in that fucking Lincoln, man. It's just.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Those were the days.
I miss the good old days, man. There were some hard times, but like you look back on it, and the hard times were such good times, man.
They didn't seem like hard times. It was just fucking living. Like I don't remember as much complaining.
Nah, you couldn't. That was bitch shit. I mean, if you complained, your homeboys would like, you know what I mean, get up all up in your ass and shit. Like I remember, man, we couldn't complain about nothing, man. Motherfuckers would have fucking. I had to be a little tough, dude, to be around the people I was around. You know, they didn't have it easy neither, so I couldn't complain about nothing. Fucking roaches, fucking no shower and shit. You taking baths in the sink and whatnot. I mean, I mean, the food you would eat, you would steal. It's just how it was, man. And then you learned how to push the shit. And then you started taking care of everybody, and everybody wants to eat off of you and shit, man. It's just wild, wild days. But then people started dying, man, going to prison, and shit changes. But it is what it is. I'm saying, man, we've been going over 2 hours. I think we're going to probably call this one, man.
Yeah, his apocalyptic radio is on.
Oh, yeah, you got the apocalyptic radio on, man. Fuck, I forgot all about it. You should have said something, man. My bad.
Hey, I got a live, I guess. Or premiere.
Yeah.
What the fuck is premiere?
Yeah, head over to God damn it, Hutch.
We just
you drop the link, babe. Can you drop the link? Drop the link to the premiere. It's probably still counting down. Did you do a countdown on it?
I don't know. I think so.
Probably did. They usually do like a 2-minute countdown on it. I think you set it for 11:03. It's like 10:03. It's like, well, it's 11:07. All right, we're gonna end it. Catch y'all over there at the joint. There's the link. Nisi just dropped the link. Come jam out. Come hang out and jam. It's gonna be dope. I'll holler at y'all next time. I appreciate y'all listening in. Peace.